Welcome to the Stiff Arm. I'm still Ron Mexico. Joining me today on the Stiff Arm is my first guest of the 2016. Yeah, it's the fucking 2016. Here already. Joining me, the funky word pig himself, Greg Hall. Greg, what's going on, man?
I'm your first guest of the entire season.
First, as always, because you're the only one. Listen, you're the only one like me who doesn't work days. All my other fucking friends are responsible. Not that you're not, but
It's awesome.
it is awesome. It's very awesome.
I'm glad I hit that one major criteria.
Thank God. It's like, dude, are you home during the day? Yes, you're on the show. That's all it takes. And you don't have to wear your pants.
Nailed it.
So, here's what we're going to talk about today. I've been saying for years as I've been doing the show is I do not play fantasy football. I've had many of you ask, Ron, can you pick my fantasy team? Ron, can you do this with my fantasy? Fuck your fantasy. You don't want to know what my fucking fantasies are. They usually involve an orgy full of people. But fantasy football, I really don't give a shit. It goes against everything in my being as a football fan. As a football fan, I've always felt you have your main team you root for, and then come playoff time, because your team's not going to perform, you kind of step out on them. So it's almost kind of swinger-like in a way. So you got your wife, but then, you know, as they said in Goodfellas, Friday night was for the wives, but Saturday night was for the girlfriends. Well, playoff time's for the girlfriends. So I do have a playoff team, which is, I wouldn't call them that anymore, but I do have a mistress team. I've always liked New Orleans. But those of you that watch the show know I'm a Miami Dolphins fan no matter what. The Dolphins play the Saints, fuck the Saints. I want the fucking Saints to be destroyed. And again, that's what goes against, I feel like, my beliefs as a football fan is you root for whomever you, be a fan of whomever you're a fan of, but you want to see that other team be destroyed, embarrassed, humiliated.
So on that scenario, Miami versus New Orleans, your problem is being a diehard Miami fan. If you had fantasy football and you also had Mark Ingram on your on your team, you would have to root for the home team, but also hope Mark Ingram runs for 200 yards against you.
Right. That's fucking stupid. Why would you do that? That's fucking, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Now, you know, having similar football beliefs that I have and have taught me a lot about football that I didn't know, how you kind of can play both sides of this. How do you live with yourself?
First off, I want to say I've been to your orgies before. The coolest thing about your orgies, bunch of naked people rolling around, but we're all wearing football helmets.
Listen, safety first.
That's your safety first. It's a collision sport.
Yes, I don't want to be. Listen, I don't want to have to pay anything out. I don't want to be in the legal bills the NFL's got. Fuck that shit.
Much like football, it's not a contact sport. It's a collision sport. Here's what I do. I despise fantasy football for the same reason. I think it destroys football. I can't stand the fact that NFL Network can't get two sentences and talk about any player without bringing up his fantasy points. Let them play the damn game. You play fantasy football. They play football. Your job is to talk about them. So just do that. I don't need to hear about Des Bryant's fantasy numbers. I don't give a shit. I don't give two shits. Can the guy catch every pass? No. He drops every other one. Put that as a fantasy stat. Well, I can do this, and I do it because I am a whore. And I will admit right here, I am a whore. I despise fantasy football, but I play it because I'm very good at it. I do my homework. I know the sport fairly well. And to be honest, I make good money. People hire me to draft their teams, and they pay me my stipend. I'm in 2 different leagues. My wife likes to play the sport. I'm in 2 different leagues. Most every year, we rake in some big cash for the Super Bowl stuff that you make, the playoffs and whatever. So I am a whore. I despise everything about fantasy football, what it's doing to the sport, the fact that pig-faced pace eaters take up most of my commentating time on football, because they're going, well, if it's a PPR league and he actually gets 17 yards per rush, you can add that at the end as special teams. Go away. Go away, pig-face. Go away.
Get the fuck off. Step the fuck off.
You can't stand those guys. So why do I do it? For any good reason, the cash.
Amen. As Randy Moss said, straight cash, homie. The only fantasy football thing I do is is play it on a gaming console. That's more fantasy football to me because the Miami Dolphins until last year hadn't lost a Super Bowl in 20-something fucking years. You can't get any more of a fantasy than that shit.
Only fantasy football I do, I'm so old school. Only fantasy football I do is the triangular paper wad that you shoot between your fingers to make the field goal.
Listen, I'll one-up you. You know what's a really good fantasy football? Do it on the fucking electric football game that you plug it in that sounds like a vibrator. That would be some fantasy football. All right, now as promised, usually if you're only the privileged few will get the season predictions from Dr. G. Dr. G has been, for the most part, his predictions, as crazy as some of them say, except for, I think last year you picked Detroit, but I figured you were into the paint fumes, and the conversation you and I were having before we came on the air of the NFL is you're like, you know what, I'll go do something more productive with my fucking Sunday than deal with you assholes. But for the most part, your predictions have been pretty dead on balls accurate. I'm not going to ask the magician to reveal his secrets, but I am curious to find out what your predictions are for this coming season. So let's start with the AFC. Let's make it easy. Let's go with the AFC East. So you got Dolphins, Patriots, Bills, Jets. Give me your 1 to 4.
You know what I'm going to do to make this a little bit more exciting for myself?
Okay.
I actually haven't sat down and wrote my predictions out, and I haven't sent them out to the normal fan base that I send them out to.
Correct.
I'm going to wing it.
All right.
I'm going to wing it. As you say it, I'm just going to do it off the cuff. So as you say the teams, I'll just spit them out.
All right. Let's start with the obvious. The Patriots, where they finished from 1 through 4.
They finished first, and here's the most interesting thing about the Patriots. I'll say this right now. Tom Brady is not scared or frightened about the fact that the deflated footballs will diminish his reputation. That's not why he's been fighting this so hard. He is scared to death Garoppolo is going to go 4-0. Just like Matt Castle went, 11-5, 12-4,
yep.
What it was when he went down last time. He is scared to death Garoppolo is going to go 4-0 and reveal the secret that anybody can play quarterback for Belichick's system and win. That's good. That little bastard's going to go 4-0.
You know, it'd be pretty ironic. If that does come to fruition, the ironic thing about that is Brady came into the league from a deflation, and he'll be leaving the league by a deflation.
The first one was a deflated lung, though.
Doesn't matter. Deflating is a deflating. Who gives a shit? You know what? I wouldn't put it past the Patriots to have given Mo Lewis money to fucking hit Bledsoe that hard to put this asshole. There's another one. So he's got 2 deflate gates, snowplow, and camera gate. Where the fuck it's called. All right. Miami Dolphins, where are we finishing? 5th out of 4?
You know what? I'll be honest. Let's just make this easy. I know we have limited time. New England's finishing first, and the other 3 teams are going to finish last in the top. Let's just move on. I do it every damn year. I have never seen teams like Miami and Buffalo collect the talent they do and then do nothing with it.
It just fucking collapsed. All right, so the North. Baltimore, Cincy, Pittsburgh, Browns. Give me your 1 to 4.
Pittsburgh finishes the division first. Their defense is lacking, but that offense is too damn dangerous and too incredible.
Okay.
Plus they get a ton of breaks when they're on a roll, sell a lot of T-shirts. I think Baltimore bounced back, maybe about 9-7, 10-6. I'll be happy with that. Cincinnati's always been overrated. I know people yank their wanky. I'm not sure why, but I think they're falling to 8-8. And Cleveland might just take the year off. I think that they might just go with 31 teams this year. Yeah,
there's just some sort of fucking affinity. I don't understand what the NFL's or the media's or whatever this thing about. They always want to push the fucking Bengals as this,
The only thing I can think of, and I call it the Batman theory, they love marketing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a huge moneymaker for them.
Right.
The Ravens and Ravens with Batman is like Batman Joker. Maybe they just feel that they need more arch enemies. So, maybe the Bengals are like Catwoman.
Not a hot-looking fucking cat. It's like Catwoman. It's like Catwoman.
Don't knock an Andy Dalton. That's a hot piece of meat there. They don't call him the Red Rocket for no reason.
Oh my God. That makes me think of when my dog gets a hard-on every time I hear that. The Red Rocket. I go, he's licking his balls.
That's also what I think of when I think of Andy Dalton.
Yes,
so, we can move on.
All right, so
to talk about, folks.
AFC South. So you got Houston, Tennessee, Indianapolis. 3 teams in that division.
Again, really easy. Houston has that wrapped up. I'm almost leaning towards Houston as my Super Bowl favorite from the AFC.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
You're that confident?
I think wraps it up. Indianapolis has Andrew Luck in a lot of holes. They'll do okay. And then, yeah, that's like the only 2-team division in the league.
Yeah. So, all right, so it's going to be Houston. But you feel that good about the quarterback play or whatever the fuck, Lee Harvey Oswald, what the fuck is his quarterback?
I do. I think he's a good talent. I just think he hasn't gotten a chance to play yet. I think Denver fucked with him last year, whether they meant to do it on purpose or not, because they wanted the legacy to be out there with Peyton going out a winner. And I think that's why he didn't re-sign with Denver. I think more than anything else, it wasn't a money thing. I think it was they hurt his feelings, they screwed him over, and at best, he was only going to be the guy that followed Peyton in Denver. Houston, clean slate. Name a Houston quarterback that's actually got any worth ever in their history since they moved back.
Dan Pastorini.
Other than David Carr, who they beat the shit out of in 3 years in the sort of trash heap.
Fucking A.
They really haven't had a talented guy. Osweiler could be not only the winning quarterback for them, he could be the greatest quarterback in their franchise history.
Is it fair to say David Carr was like the John McCain of the Houston Texans, or is Tim Couch more like the John McCain?
Oh, very much so.
I mean, they were a tiger cage away, those fucking guys. All right, then the West. You got Denver, KC, Oakland, San Diego.
Controversy here, my friend. A lot of controversy. Denver, I think, is going to, you just can't repeat off of blocked punts and interceptions. They got a great defense, but I saw this happen to Baltimore when they ditched Dilfer and brought in Gerback. You can't just ship like that on offense. They got C.J. Anderson, who had a piss poor season last year, and that's all they got on offense. There is nothing else. It's going to be field goals, and hopefully somebody runs an interception back. I don't think they're going back to the show. San Diego is out of it. Oakland is the sexy pick. Everyone's been waiting for Oakland to come back since, 1970.
Right.
They're the sexy pick, but I say watch out for Kansas City. No one's freaking talking about Kansas City, and especially with Andy Reid there. These guys go 10-6, 11-5 every year. They're just so quietly efficient, and their defense makes more big plays than their offense.
But then they always go Andy Reid in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, but they're going to win the division. They'll still win the division. They're just a very quiet team that is just as very efficient. 10-6, 11-5, and they're there.
All right. So who are your wild cards then?
Wild card, I would say probably Indy because that division's so weak, and maybe the Raiders sneak in so everybody can be happy.
And then who's your AFC title game, you think?
Title game will probably be Pittsburgh and Houston.
And then the Super Bowl?
And I don't think Pittsburgh's going back, baby.
Wow.
I don't think they get their 18th Super Bowl trophy.
So Houston might be the first team ever to play a Super Bowl at home.
Is it in Houston this year?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that'd be kick-ass. Yeah, what the hell? Let's go for it.
All right, there you heard it. So Houston is your AFC champion. Now, NFC. You got your Eagles, your Redskins, your Giants, and America's Crack Wagon.
Philly finishes at the bottom. I think you've got to go with me. I love Eli. I just love Eli, man. I don't like Odell Beckham, what's his face, but I love Eli, and I think that they'll do well enough to win the division. Washington's still dangerous. They got a lot of weapons. Dallas, I know half of their rookies are already in the Hall of Fame. They ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
They've been to one playoff game in like 10 years, haven't won shit since the 90s. My son, who is in his early 20s, asked, why are they America's team? Have they ever won a Super Bowl? And I said, not in your lifetime. That's scary.
It is.
So, fuck them. Some more T-shirts. There you go, Dax Baggins, or whoever the hell that is.
Bilbo, yeah. All right, so the North, Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears.
I love this division. My favorite division. I like the Packers. I think they're going to get their shit straightened out again. Last year was a rough year. This year they're going to be good. That secondary is starting to get better and better that they've been drafting over the past couple of years. Minnesota with Bradford now. Though I don't think I think the hype over Teddy Bridgewater. He's a good field game manager. He I've never seen him light it up. So I think Bradford might actually be better. Adrian Peterson is 100 years old, but that defense is sharp. They're nasty. They're going to be in the hunt. And believe it or not, I love my Detroit Lions. I have faith.
3-1-3, bitches.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Right here on your show.
Right here.
I think Stafford's going to be the NFL MVP.
Dude, there is going to be some fucking car door slamming on Big Beaver Road tonight. All right, the NFC South.
Yep.
Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers, and the Aints.
You got to go with Carolina again. They've just got too much talent. That defense is awesome.
And the rest is a fucking shit show.
It's kind of like your division, the AFC East. The rest of the division, everybody else finishes last.
And in the West, Seahawks, Niners, Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals.
I love the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I love that defense. I love Arians, the coach. I love that coach. You know, I'm a major Seahawks fan. Was until Russell Wilson fell down at the finish line, let Tom Brady run past him. See, Tom, you win again. So fuck the Seahawks. They'll still win though. They're good. The Rams are. I'm glad they went to LA. They've got some talent, but it's going to be a pleasure watching golf carry a clipboard all year. And then I don't know. I don't recognize the other team. Bunch of communists.
Yeah, they'll be sitting on the bench for the majority of the playoffs. All right, so who are your wild cards in for the?
Think real quick.
Yeah.
I think that's the last thing Kaepernick would do to protest. Sit on the bench.
All right, so who's your wild cards?
Nobody from the East. You're just gonna have the one divisional winner. Nobody from the South. You probably get the Seahawks in there. If not, you're going to get two from the North. You're going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit slips in as the sixth.
Okay, NFC title game.
It's going to be the Cardinals and maybe Green Bay in a fun, wacky-ass matchup. I love when those two teams play each other. Sometimes Aaron Rodgers just does a little pooch kick to a defensive guy who runs it in for their winning touchdown, and sometimes he throws a Hail Mary, and then 30 seconds later, Fitzgerald runs 90 yards. So you never know what's going to happen with those two teams. I'd love to see them in the championship. I'm going Arizona.
All right, so Arizona and Houston, and then our Super Bowl 51 winner is Arizona. There you have it. Market 8, dude. Greg Hall, thanks again for your time. This is Ron Mexico saying...
I'm finishing my coffee.
This is Ron Mexico saying, I'm not bragging on myself, baby.